Well, summer's almost over. We're in our last month, so I thought I would do an easy marker tutorial that you can draw along with me. And there's a swatch little sheet in the middle of the video, so go check that out. Go pull the colors. I also used a fine liner, so you could use any marker you want, and a pencil. And if you want to take a screenshot of this now and trace it, you can. I just thought that this would be something fun for you to do if you're new to markers and you don't have a coloring book or whatever. This would just be a fun project. If you want to know what paper I'm using the Nina cardstock, super smooth, but you could use any coated printer paper that would work. It may just look a little different because it might have a glossy finish on it, but no big deal. The principles are still the same. I'm then going to turn this one into a card when I'm done. Alright, I just got back from Hawaii, so I'm still riding the Aloha wave. I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll draw along with me. So as soon as my hand moves, you're going to see that I had already traced a circle. I just took like a candle that was 2.5 inches in diameter and I just traced it. And what I'm doing now is I'm sketching a 5-petal hibiscus. Most hibiscus are 5 petals, and it's just a simple shape. If you don't want to do that, you're not good at drawing, you can always screenshot mine and then you could trace it. And when you're doing this, you don't want to do it with a heavy hand because if you left your pencils marks there, you will see it when you go over it with alcohol markers, and you won't be able to erase it afterwards. So, if you don't mind the pencil lines, then you don't have to erase. But some of it I'm going to trace over with a black marker, as you're going to see later on, but any straight lines I'm just trying to get rid of. And so just use a light hand when you're doing this sketching portion now. Next, I'm working on the wave line, and I'm just doing a curved line from one end to the other. So now we're going to color in. I put a little chart there on the right so you could see what the marker numbers are. I'm not sure if all the markers are the same numbering system. I know with the skin tones, depending on what set you buy, it's different. So this yellow is, Y1 is called pastel yellow. I think they do keep the same names, just different numbers sometimes among the sets. So here, when I'm coloring in, I'm trying to do it in a circular fashion. I'm trying to just do a single layer where the petals are. You don't want to do a double layer there because I kind of want the color to show through when I overlay it with the petal cover. When I was doing mine, it was kind of hard to see where the pencil line was, but hopefully you'll be able to see it and you could just go around it. And now I'm using the R120 color, and that color is light prawn. And I thought this was a fun summer color. As I'm coloring the petals, I'm kind of outlining it so that I'll know where my ink placement should go. And you notice I'm using long strokes and I'm going in the direction of the petal. I'm not going across the petal, I'm going from the top to the center of the petal. And that's important because those strokes will show, and I'll show you later how we're going to texture it out. Also, it's okay to leave some spaces. I sometimes think it's kind of nice if you leave just tiny bits of white to show through, because that adds visual interest. So I don't try to make sure that I color every aspect of the petal. I like a little fleck of white here and there to show through. So just go around and do the petals. Now when you get to the stamen, I used the lighter yellow, which was YO50, and that one is called Summer Lemon. And then I decided, you know what, I looked at a picture of a stamen. I said, oh, that's not yellow. It's the same color as the flower. So I went a little bit darker, and this time I went with Coral Pink R1. So I just kind of like, am I doing it right now? Pretty soon, if I'm not doing it now. Yeah, there you go. I'm going through, and I'm leaving a little bit of the yellow so you can see it through. And I'm going to do a couple dots up at the top where the tip of the, what's that called, stamen is. I don't know my flower parts. Even though I love flowers, I should know. And then I'm going back with the bright yellow, which is the YO50 Summer Lemon, and I'm just making dots. I kind of outlined where the dots should go, and I'm just erasing it because now I'm free-forming it, and I don't want those pencil lines to show through. Next, I'm taking the lightest blue, which in this case is BO30, and that's Frost Blue, and I'm just going a little bit below the pencil line, just because I wanted to see that pencil line to use as my guide to make the wave. And I'm going maybe like 3 widths of the nib, just to give me some space, because I want to do kind of like a gradient. And so then I'm going with the next darker color, which is BO70, and that was Tahitian Blue. And then I'm taking the lighter color and I'm just kind of going over it to blend it a little bit. And then I'll take the darkest color, which is PB8, and that one is called Cerulean Blue. And I'm trying not to mark up my board here, so I'm kind of using the color swatch sheet to use as my excess so it doesn't go on the board. And just kind of like trying to, again, leaving a little bit of white. It doesn't always have to be perfect. You use your discretion. And then I'm erasing that top pencil line. And I'm just cleaning up the edges there. Just trying to add some color variation. This is the fun part now, where you can just kind of play and see where you think you need to put color, and just erasing any stray marks. Next, I decided I'm going to take that lightest marker and I'm going to extend my wave, because I thought it'd be kind of cool for the petal to overlap the water. So that's why I'm just kind of just going right over it. And looking back at it, I like it. I think it looks really cool. Next, I'm taking a fine liner. In this case, I used a Copic. This was I'm showing you 0.05. You could use any fine liner. It doesn't have to be Copic. You could even use a Sharpie. I have just a whole bunch of different ones, and I liked a medium line here, not the thinnest one, not a 0.005, because I just wanted some weight to the lines. And this is the fun part for me, because you're outlining the petals, and then you're just going to go in and you're going to make the petal lines. If you ever looked at a hibiscus, it has like the veining in it, and I just thought using it with a black marker will make it pop more. And so I find this part really kind of therapeutic, because you're just kind of like using your brain to figure out where you want the lines to go, and you kind of get lost in the piece. And this part is kind of like my favorite part, because you're just using your instincts to figure out where you want things to go, and that's fun, really fun for me when that stuff starts happening. I like to vary the width because nature isn't perfect. There's a little bit of a pattern, but not. So sometimes the randomness is what makes things interesting. So the spacing is different. Sometimes I'll start a line in the middle of a line. Just kind of use what you think works best for you. So going ahead and doing all the petals this way. Now I'm just looking at the piece and I'm thickening up the lines. Sometimes I do a double line. If you wanted to, you could change pens to a thicker type of nib. I felt like just doing darker areas in some places was sufficient for this piece. So again, you're kind of looking at it and figuring out where you want to place lines. And now I'm outlining the stamen. And now I'm going through and I'm darkening up the center because the center of the flower is darker. And then I'm taking the lighter color pink and I'm flecking it and creating variation in the petals. Just little swipes here and there, kind of going from the center out and then going from the outer parts. Again, not wanting a pattern, do it randomly, create visual variation. And this is what's going to give it the dimension and interest. Love this part. Now I'm going through the wave area and I'm outlining the wave. And I'm trying to decide, all right, what to do next, because I want some detail in the wave. And I'm thinking maybe I'll add some darker areas. And I'm outlining it. And I'm doing that, following the curve. So I'm trying to evoke some movement in here. So it's just a simple design. Thick and thin, trying to make the ends kind of pointed. And still trying to figure out what to do. Okay, now I'm moving on to the sun, and I think that the sun needs some dimension. So I'm taking the darker color, which is the Y1, and I'm moving that, and on the edges, I'm making it really darker. Really not putting a lot of pressure to get that really fine, thin line. And kind of flicking it, if you look at my hand, short strokes. And then blending it with the lighter color of yellow. Important to go in a circular motion, follow the curve. And now, behind the petal, I thought with the lighter color, I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow behind that petal. And I thought that straight line, I don't know, I wanted more movement. So then I went back, I thought I'm going to add a curve line to it, kind of like a wobbly line. So that's what I'm doing here. Because it didn't have enough movement for me. And then I'm just kind of going below and I'm adding some wobbly lines there. I don't like to overdo it because I don't want it to be, too busy, but that's up to you. You might want it busier than the way I do it. I was trying to also keep this piece easy for you to work on. And now I'm just adding more of those thick curved lines. Another idea that I thought of, if you wanted to add some fish below, you could do that. But I just thought I'd keep it really simple. And I'm going to the sun. I'm going to add some movement lines there. They're a little wiggly, just so that there's some movement with the sun. And I'm almost done here. I think I'm going to go back and take that light pink marker. Oh, first I'm going to use the blue. And I'm going to color in the white areas of the wiggly line. Okay, one final thing with the light pink pencil, the light prawn or marker, and I'm just darkening up some areas. Alright, that's it. So here I'm showing you where the highlights were left with those white gaps. I think it does add the visual interest. Where there's shading in the sun, gives it depth. I really like the overlap of the petal and the sun. Alright, we're finished with this project. Well, I hope you enjoyed making this with me, and if you want more, leave a comment, let me know. Please like and share, I'd appreciate it, and until next time, take care, bye-bye, enjoy the rest of your summer.